This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2016 here in Vancouver. I have with me Dr. Eric Jensen from Eurasian Minerals. I'm going to give you two symbols, EMXX on the NYSE and EMX on the TSX Venture. Eric, welcome to SNNLive.
Well, thank you, Shelley, for having me on.
It's good to have you. So, I haven't talked to anybody from Eurasian for almost a year.
Okay.
So let's start out with an overview on the company,
Yes.
and then we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Yeah. Eurasian Minerals is a company that generates new exploration opportunities for the industry and for our investors. And what we do is we create opportunities that are then partnered on to other companies who advance those projects. We retain an interest, and in a sense, we are a diversified investment vehicle for the exploration industry.
Almost like a mutual fund.
That's right. We've called this, actually use those exact words. We're almost like a mutual fund for investment. And our job as geologists and as technicians for the company, we identify the opportunities that we believe that people and companies want to invest in. We front run and do all this for our investors and for the industry at large.
Now, what role do you play in the company?
I'm the manager of exploration for the company, but I'm also a geologist. But all of us in the company wear an entrepreneurial hat as well. So in addition to making the technical decisions and doing the geology, we also make a lot of business decisions, and we're always making decisions with the business and the technical aspects in mind.
So when you and your staff are analyzing a project, where does the beginning of that, when do you get involved as the manager of the team? Because you can't possibly go to every single location until it meets certain criteria. Am I correct?
Yes, but it's actually very dynamic. In some cases, if the opportunity is big enough, I want to know right away. And so that's always a judgment call on the part of ourselves and the people in the company. But our geologists are, I'm available 24 hours. They can call me up. I travel around the world a lot, and I want our geos to be able to call me up at any time and ask me questions and say, is this something we should be looking at or not? And but I give our guys a lot of freedom. All of us are entrepreneurs in this group, and the people have the freedom to go out and seek these opportunities. If they need some advice, I'm available.
Okay, so from a Eurasian Minerals standpoint, what's the initial criteria that wakes you up in the morning?
Will it make money? That's the number one criteria. We're small enough but large enough where we can look at an entire range of opportunities. And so our main criteria is to look for things that will make money for our investors and for our partners.
Do you strictly stick in the precious metals, or if something comes up in base metals, do you get excited?
We get excited about a lot of things. As a geologist, it's easy to do that, but you have to temper that with economic sense. And so our primary focus has been on copper and gold, but we look at a wide range of opportunities. In fact, some of the opportunities we've generated are more in the base metal space, zinc, lead, and silver. Some of our better, more advanced projects in the portfolio are of that ilk, but we definitely focus on copper and gold. But we'll look at just about any type of opportunity in the mineral sector if we think it could be profitable and make sense for our investors and our partners.
So what's a couple of projects that you're working on now that you seem like a very excited person, so I don't want to get you too crazy,
Yeah.
But give me a couple of deals that really excited you.
Good question. Well, we're working on a couple of things right now. I'd say our flagships in our portfolio for many years have been our projects in Turkey. We got some nice precious metal projects there. I know there's been some concerns about Turkey, but we've been very comfortable working there, and we still are. And we've got a good presence there and some good projects. We're making some good strategic moves to maintain our sense of value there. And so, yeah, there's certainly some things I've been involved with there. We're working on a great portfolio of assets right now in Scandinavia that we're in contact with some companies that are looking at this as a partnership opportunity. But probably the big news is our strategic investment in the Malmish project in Russia, which is a giant collection of porphyry copper deposits that has recently been given the approval by the Russian government for its development with ourselves and the partners that are involved in that project. So that's a key value driver for us. And another one that people haven't talked a lot about is our royalty in Serbia, the Čukaru Peki project, which is now being advanced by Nevsun. We've got a significant royalty interest in that project, and that will be a key value driver for us in years to come. It'll provide us with nice cash flow streams that'll help us expand our exploration and our work around the world. So we're really excited about that part of the portfolio.
Let's get back to that copper deal in Russia, because copper's at a pretty low price right now.
250, it's not bad. Actually, compared to where we were years ago, 250 actually doesn't sound that bad. Now, compared to $4 where it can get to, but we're pretty comfortable.
But meanwhile, talk around this conference is that copper is probably a great opportunity at this moment.
Yeah, we've got a lot of copper in the ground there. In the 43101 compliant resource that was published at a 0.3 cutoff, there's 15 billion pounds of copper in this system. So these are big numbers, and that's a great opportunity.
Would they be in a position to want to export, or is that for internal consumption?
Good question. There are many smelters in that region. There are some in Russia and also some in other neighboring countries, and so that's a decision to be made once the development scenario is put in place.
Let's explain to our audience your business model so that people understand it.
Yeah, that's a good question. We get this question a lot. What Eurasian does is we identify these exploration opportunities, we find partners to advance these, and then we keep a royalty interest. And so in that sense, what we do is we organically generate royalties. And instead of calling ourselves a project generator, we call ourselves a royalty generator. And we've got an impressive portfolio of royalty interests that we've both organically created, but also because we have geologists working in all these areas, they may see a company and say, that company has an excellent royalty that's really undervalued or misunderstood, and we should purchase that. And so we make selective purchases of royalties as well. And that's how we got one of the royalties in Serbia was acquired in that manner. It was through our understanding of the geology and who held royalty interests in that area. And we saw a very favorable opportunity there. And the Leeville royalty in Nevada, which is one of our key cash flowing royalties right now.
So how do you mitigate risk?
We mitigate risk. As a geologist, an exploration geologist, my primary function is risk mitigation. That's what I do on a daily basis every time we evaluate a project. But the best way to mitigate risk from our perspective is to maintain such a diverse portfolio of not only metal groups, as we talked about before, but also geography. We have assets in 14 countries around the world. And when if there's problems that develop, say, in one jurisdiction, it's only a small part of our portfolio. And so we balance that out. That's also opportunities are born as well. And so it's the balance of geography, deposit types, and different stages of exploration opportunities as well. We are such a dynamic group. We can look at very early stage things or more advanced things and paying royalties, for example. So a nice mixture.
So is there more opportunity now because of the price declines in the commodities or less?
More. And here's why. A lot of companies have simply stopped exploring. So there's more ground, more opportunities available for acquisition, but suddenly there's more money in the market as well for partnerships. And so companies suddenly have money to conduct exploration. And that works in both ways for us. So we can both acquire projects right now and also find partners to advance them. And this is a very exciting time in the business. We've waited for several years for this turnaround to begin.
So Eric, you're surrounded by some people in management that I'm sure you want to mention. Tell us a few so we get it.
Yes. Well, the company is led by David Cole. He's our CEO. And David, the reason I work for Eurasian Minerals is because we met this CEO that had this dynamic capacity for commercial engagement. And it was something I'm not used to in geologists, and I've learned a lot from working with David over the years. He's got a fantastic entrepreneurial mind for the business. He's also a very good geologist. We have Dr. David Jensen, who's our chief geologist. He's based in North America. David and I have a history that goes back to our days in graduate school together. We've known each other for many years, and I have a tremendous respect for his aptitude, again, as a geologist, but also as a business person. And of the two of us, he's probably the more grounded of the two, and I'm the more excitable, but that's that we play off each other's personalities. In that sense. So it's a fun group to work with.
Let's get your website out there for more information for our investor audience, if you would.
Okay, www.eurasianminerals.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Eric Jensen, Eurasian Minerals. It's a publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols, EMXX on the NYSE and EMX on the TSX Venture. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Sprott Natural Resource Symposium 2016 here in Vancouver.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Shelley.
It was a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure talking with you. Cheers.